We are discussing about the organization of social life during the 6th century BC and the period ahead of that. And yesterday we were talking about the the basic thing that is needed for development of a social structure, that is family. And we have seen that uh, during that period a joint family system existed in which blood relatives used to live. That was the basic system. But that is the initial stage of the starting of a social life. Our effort is to discuss the social interactions, what the condition of the women was in the society, what the different occupations that people used to be engaged in during that period of time, and whether the different occupations in which people were involved that decided the social status that we are discussing here. So we see that in the early Vedic period, the society was divided into four varnas. That is the Brahman, the Kshatriya, and the Vaishyas and the Shudras. And that was on the basis of the occupational profession that they practiced. The priests and the teachers. I will not use the term Brahman here. The priest and the teachers came under the Brahman Varna, because these were the people who were the knowledgeable people. They had they knew what was given in the Veds. They were the learned and educated people. It was not on the basis of birth, it was on the basis of the ability of a person. Those people who used to perform the priestly duties, and those who were in the society who used to impart knowledge to other people, that is the teachers, they were identified as the Brahmins. It is not like what it is today, that if you are born in a family of Brahman, if your parents are Brahman, you are a Brahman. It was not like that in the Vedic time, especially in the early Vedic period. The society was very open. The profession was not guided by birth, it was on the basis of ability. And not only it was true for the men, but also the women had equal freedom. There were women saints also in the early Vedic period. Many of the hymns of the Rig Veda were written by the women saints. So the society was not based on any discrimination during that period of time. Besides the Brahman, the Kshatriyas formed from another group who were the rulers and the administrators who had the duty of protecting the society. And the third group was, or the varna was, that of the farmers, merchants, and bankers who were engaged in trading activities also. They were known as Vaishyas. Whereas the last category was that of the artisans and laborers, and that was the Sudra Varna. But this was on the basis of the work that they used to do. You should understand that the son or a child of a Brahman family whose parents were Brahman can be a Shudra because of its occupation in the Rig Vedic period. If he was not able to impart knowledge to others, which was the basic duty of the Brahmins, then he could be engaged in other type of activities in which he was exploited. And if he is engaged in an act which is for activity for his survival, for which is normally the work which is done by the artisans and laborers, he used to belong to the Shudra. So the Varna used to be decided by the ability and the skill and the profession and the occupation that the people used to do. So the basis of this division was the working ability and the efficiency of a person. It had no relation with the birth or heredity at all. A person was free to follow the profession according to his ability or liking. Members of the same family could follow different profession or could change their according to their wishes. However, during the later Vedic period, things started changing. The Varnas came to be recognized on the basis of birth, and the multiplicity of the various types of profession gave rise to various types of caste or jatis. So, with the passage of time, the economic activities continued to grow up, and different types of activities was available in which people could engage themselves. So this led to development of urban living also, where people from different regions, distant region, used to come and meet and share their views and ideas. This brought about a big change in the society, and this also led to the weakening of the social fabric that was woven to maintain a proper social order in the society. However, the four Varna system that was developed, that was based on the Purushukta Hain, that is a part of Rigved, and which is mentioned in the 12th Hain as the 12th Hain of the 10th Mandal of the Rigved. And according to that, uh, the whole society is divided into four Varnas: the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. It states that the Brahman was born of the mouth of the Brahma. That means that which imparts knowledge. That which, and he was considered as the top of the society because the head is at the upper part, is the uppermost part of the body. And the Kshatriyas, their work was to protect the people from invaders and from other types of problems. So they became the administrators, and the Vaishyas, they were required to do the economic activity. So that belonged the third category. And the Sudra, who were considered to have originated from the legs, the feet of the Prajapati or the creator of the universe, they were required to do the service to the society. So this was how the Varna system came into being, and this was how the society was formed. But later on, you see, untouchability was added in that also. It led to the development of caste system, and later on, it led to the adding up of untouchability also. Those who were engaged in polluting work, that which was considered as polluting in nature, such menial work which were considered as polluting in nature, they started to be considered as untouchable because of the dirty work that in which they were engaged in. So that led to the development of untouchable. But that started coming up because of the formation of the caste, which was based on hereditary. It was not based on skill or occupation. Now a person who belonged in the 6th century BC, now a person who belonged to a particular caste had to do the same work as was bestowed on that particular caste in which he was born. It was not dependent on his ability. Whether he was skilled in something else, it doesn't matter, and he had to do the work that the family in the family in which he was born. So a lot of changes started coming up during the 6th century BC in the whole caste system, and to protect this transgression that started taking up in the whole social fabric, which started weakening, which started leading to the weakening of the social fabric, which was based on the four Varna system. It led to the codification of different rules and regulations for the society which needed to be followed, and this was done by the Brahmins, which came to be known as Dharma Shastras. Every one has to follow the rules and regulation that was mentioned in the Dharma Shastras, and that was done so that the society could function in a systematic order. So a lot of changes started coming up in the society, and the whole caste system that was developed, that was basically based on the system of the Varna system, which was in the early Vedic period, was not on the basis of uh, of heredity, but it was on the basis of one's ability and one's occupation in which